Hey guys, welcome back to 5B's Garage. Today we're going to install a plow on this garden tractor. Stay with me and we'll get started. Earlier in the year, over the summer, I picked up this garden tractor here. I believe it's from 1998 or thereabouts. It's similar to a GT3000. This year they called them an EZ. I don't know why, they got away from it. So last year I picked up that lawn tractor with a 42-inch plow and we plowed some snow. This year I upgraded to a garden tractor and I got a 48-inch plow here I picked up off of Facebook or Craigslist or something, I don't remember where, but I found it online. 48-inch plow, it's got most of the bracketry here, came with a couple of wheel weights and some 2-link chains. I don't have the screws for the wheel weights, I'm gonna have to get those. This is all that it came with. There's some hardware that's missing. So I had to download the owner's manual, figure out what pieces were missing and order them up. These are the parts that were missing when I got it. These two brackets were missing along with these, I think they're called trunnion pins or trunnion bolts. I had to order those directly from SearsParts.com. I couldn't get them locally. And then these are just some miscellaneous cotter pins and some nuts and washers and bolts. Nothing crazy in here, just basic hardware store type stuff. I picked up all of that. The only thing I'm still missing is the bolts for the wheel weights, but we'll get those later on and we'll get those wheel weights on. There is one other piece missing. It's a bracket that comes up here and it has a U-bolt on it and it's to hold this handle in place. This is the handle that releases the lock to move the plow left and right. But I have a solution for that. I wasn't able to source the part, it's not made anymore. I was thinking about manufacturing one, buying some steel and bending it up, but I wound up having a solution for it. So stay with me, I'll show it to you later in the video. First thing it says we got to do is remove this arm and this bolt and washer. Probably get some penetrating oil. Yowza, that's hot. Jesus. Man, that was hot. I'll do the same on the other side. Okay, let's not touch that nut this time. All right, we got that removed. All right, we're back on this side. So I don't know why, but for some reason the manual has us going back and forth. We got to remove these. All right, so now we got to get this pivot point up in here and here. Okay, now we got these brackets, these L brackets. They go on like this with a cotter pin or a hairpin. We get one on the other side. Now that locks it in, so this bar can't come up out of these holes here. Now, this bolt here needs to be adjusted in this slot so that the bolt hits the bottom of the front axle. And this is a stop that prevents this bar from hitting the drive pulley. You need a minimum of 1/4 inch clearance here. So this way, if you're going down a hill and the plow goes down, this bar doesn't come up too far and hit the pulley. So that's the sole purpose of that bolt over there. So we'll have to adjust that later. Okay, here we are on the right side of the tractor. We removed these 2 bolts earlier. And we got to mount this bracket here. There's supposed to be a short spacer behind this bracket to the frame. I don't seem to have that. I don't know if I missed it on the list or I just misplaced it. But what we'll do for now is we'll just mock this up. There's going to be another bracket that hangs here. We'll mock this up for now and then see how much space we need to take up inside on the back side here. And we'll grab a couple of washers to do that. Okay, here we are on the left side of the tractor doing the same thing. Again, we'll just mock this up and we'll figure out how much space we need and throw some washers in there. That should be fine. So I don't know if you guys noticed, on the right side of the tractor we had to use this rearward hole. On the left side of the tractor here we're using this front hole. So these brackets are universal for both sides. There is no left and right. They're the same. Okay. Now we got to mount this bracket. I believe it goes in somewhere right there. I'm going to put another one of these on the other side. The other side, the pins were short. I couldn't find any that short, so we got long ones here. Should be okay. It's not going to interfere with anything. We'll just use the holes that are closest to the bracket. Okay, this is where we need that other special component from SearsParts.com. This is the lift trunnion bracket, I believe it's called. So this goes on here to use as jam nuts. It's just this piece and the original nut. Leave that a little bit so we can adjust it. A little loose for some adjustment there. Now we got this bracket here. Needs to go on these 2 trunnions. Now I believe these have to come in here. Same on that side. This is the original one. This is the new one I bought. So this is where we need those spacers up here. So we'll have to figure out exactly how much space we need and shim it out with some washers or something. Otherwise this thing's moving all over the place. One mistake I made was when I put the clevis pin on the trunnion lift arms, there's supposed to be a washer in there. You probably can't see it too well on this side, but right over here. I had them, I just missed that step in the manual. Okay, now this pin on the back of the arm for the blade has to go in this hole, like that. Okay, I got a new cotter pin for that. Okay, so now when you utilize the lift lever for the deck, that should lift the blade. and it does. Up and down. Okay, so what I did was, in the instructions, this bracket is supposed to be on the inside of this bracket, and this bracket is supposed to be spaced off the frame. I don't have those spacers, so I just mounted this to the frame, put this bracket on the outside of that bracket, and it seems to work. There's a little bit of play. So with these cotter pins, they're never completely tight. See, there's some room here for it to wiggle. So looks like that's gonna work. I don't think we need those spacers. Just mount those brackets hard, pop these on the outside. I did the same thing on the other side there. Let's see. Over here, you can see this bracket is on the outside of that. And I think we're good with that. Okay, there's one last bracket we gotta put in. So this bracket here slides in here. And what this does is we'll put a cotter pin on each side, or hairpin, clevis pin, whatever you call it. And this bracket here prevents the plow from moving left and right. This is what keeps it centered and not twisting side to side. Okay, there's our pin. Another one over here. Before I mentioned there was one bracket that I was missing. I wasn't able to source online, couldn't find it anywhere. Well, just so happens I lucked out. This garden tractor behind me is not the one we're working on. This is another one, a friend of mine, Mr. Tecumseh. I'll link his channel down below. He's on Instagram and YouTube. Make sure you follow him, check out his channel. He got a lead on a couple of free lawn tractors. He wasn't able to pick them up, he couldn't make it. He gave me that lead, I drove there, picked them up. This is one of them, the GT3000 here, and look what's on it. This is that bracket we need for the snow blade for the tractor we're working on right now. What are the chances I pick up a free garden tractor and it has the exact piece that I'm missing that I can't find online? Okay, we gotta take these two bolts off, those two nuts. Seems like it's spinning on the other side. All right, we got the bracket on. I had some problems down there. This bracket here was mounted down there. I think this is a footrest for here, but it was in the way down there, so I took this off for now. Just have to make sure that I don't put my foot on the muffler. So this piece here was on here already. I believe it goes like this. Okay, here's the blade. Blade comes up. The release. Rotate the blade left and right. Lock it right there in the middle. There you go. Here we are. We're gonna put our wheel weights on. I ran to the hardware store, got these 1/2-inch carriage bolts. They're 8 inches long. I think 7.5 would be perfect, but they either had 7 or 8, so I grabbed 4 of these, 2 for each side. Grabbed 2 split washers, 2 nuts, 4 washers and 4 nuts. I also grabbed some flat washers, but the flat washers are too big for the hole in the wheel weight, and I don't have any smaller ones. So I'll have to see if I can get a smaller 1/2-inch flat washer. But for now, we'll just go with what we got and what's working. One of the reasons is tonight we have a storm coming. We're supposed to get 3 to 5 inches of snow. So I want to get this all set up. So you take your carriage bolts, you put them in from behind. You may have to move the tractor a little bit to get it in. And you see the wheel weight has a notch here. That's for the valve stem. Okay, so we use this hole and this hole. We'll pop these through. I think these wheel weights are 55 pounds a piece, so this should be fun. Here. Okay, if you use the bottom hole, make the hole on the bottom of the wheel, you can get your hand in here and press it from behind. That's kind of taking the weight right now. Just get it started. This way it doesn't come off. And like that. Okay, I don't know if you noticed in the wheel, the holes that the bolts are going through was square. They were cut square. That's for the shoulder on the carriage bolt. This way the carriage bolt doesn't turn as you're tightening the nut. It's a 3/4 inch socket. See how this is sticking out a little bit? I'm not fond of that. We got that storm coming tonight, so I want to get these on. I'll probably cut those a little shorter when I get a chance. Okay, here's our wheel weight for the other side. We got both of those on. Now we got to do the chains. While I was cleaning up, I put this footrest back on. It's not sitting perfect. It's a little bit of an angle. I don't know if you can see it under there. It's going over this bracket here, but that's all right. At least it'll keep my boot from hitting the hot muffler and melting. This is the way I like to do my chains. I lay them out and I roll a machine onto the chains. I got them laid out on both sides. Roll it forward. Now I'm just going to bring these out a little bit more. This way we'll be able to take that chain and put it right over. Okay, should be good. Try to get these all the way over. These are 2-link chains, which means that there's a link, there's a crossbar every second link. There's 4-link chains where there's a crossbar every 4th link. So the 2 links I like better. I think they give you more traction. They're more expensive, but I think they're worth it. Okay, now what you want to do is take your inside link and hook it on. And then we take our outside link. Have to button this up as best as we can. Probably have to adjust it a little bit after. So the way this works is put it on, then you swing it closed and you hook it underneath the next link. Sometimes it's easier said than done. Okay, like that. And then we'll take up the slack with bungee cords. They make special cords for this, but I don't have them, so we'll just use bungee cords. This here is a little low. I guess it was off a little bit when I rolled it. So I'm gonna roll this forward a little bit. This will give us some more slack. We'll probably get another link out of this. These chains will be closer together. Okay, now we got our chains back here. See, we got much more slack here now. So, let's see, we may be able to go 2 more links. Yep. And then we still got some slack, so that's why we need the bungees to pull these tight. In the back over here, this is the link on the back. Whatever we do in the front, we want to try to do in the back to keep it the same tautness. All right, I just rolled it forward a little bit. I was able to get that here. And then once we pull it tight on the outside, these will come like this. It'll be tight. I'll also zip tie this together, so this way it's not flapping as it goes. We don't want it to catch on any of these bolts in there. All right, we'll do the same on the other side. All right, I just got a blue bungee cord here, just one that I had. I usually like to just do 3 locations, nothing crazy. Just to take up the slack, just like something like that. If you wanted to, you can move this one over here if it makes you feel a little better. Now as this spins around, these chains will move a little bit. This here will tension up a bit and draw all the slack this way. See this here? This bothers me. I don't like it hanging like that. So we'll just zip tie it up like this. Okay, now it's not hanging. Won't get caught on anything. Last one here. Perfect. Well guys, thanks for joining me today on another episode. We installed this 48-inch plow on this garden tractor. We put wheel weights on, wheel chains. I do have plans to fill these tires with either RV antifreeze or washer fluid. I don't have time to do it today. The storm's coming tonight, like I said, so I got to get this done. The tires as they are, they're old and cracked. They got some slow leaks. They should be good enough for tomorrow, but long term they'll just leak all the fluid out. So I do have tubes. I plan on installing them, and I plan on filling the tires with fluid, get some more weight on them. So make sure you subscribe to the channel so you can see when that video comes out. If you enjoyed this video today, please hit that thumbs up down below, give me a like, I appreciate it. And don't forget to subscribe, it really helps out the channel. We'll see you guys on the next adventure.